Hi folks, and welcome back to another fly tying tutorial. So the flying device, it really needs no introduction. If you live in the UK and you fish small still waters, you should be well aware of this fly. It's Peter Appleby's Apps Worm. So without further ado, let's get into it. The hook in the vise is a Hanak H230 barbless hook. This one's at size 10, it's on a medium wire and it's finished in black nickel. So there's no thread on this fly, it's Glow-Brite number 5, and as you can see I've got one spooled up. Now as I'll get a couple of wraps on just in behind the eye here, I'll try and explain if you're unaware who Peter Appleby is. He's an absolutely phenomenal angler. I was very lucky to have fished in a team with Peter some years back, and the way he just thinks on a different level when it comes to fly fishing. He's very specific about how this pattern's tied, so I hope I do it justice today. So I've got my red flexi floss, and what I want to do is catch that in. Now I've got two strands here at the moment, and what I want to do, you'll see the flexi floss, it will want to lie one way or another. So it's lying flat there, it's trying to kick up here. So I want to tie that strand in just like so. So it's trying to kick up. That's the way. I'll just catch that in one way. A couple of turns just to hold it into place. Just make sure that strand's sitting how I want it. Very fidgety. And then same with the other strand. Now I'm going to just, it's difficult to do on camera, but I'm just trying to find out which way it wants to kick up. Again, I'm going to catch that in with a couple of loose turns, and then what that'll do is allow me to mess about until I've got it right. So now that I'm content that that's sitting where I want it to sit, I can start to really clamp down on it. Just hold that like so, and that's looking not too bad. And just make sure I've got enough length there. Now as I stretch it back, what I want to do is bring in a third strand. Now this is going to be my rib, and I'm going to catch that just in where I've tightened up on the other two strands. Now the whole thing, my rib's on top, my two strands are at the side. I'm going to just tighten up on it and then come down. Yeah, Peter is a character, and if you know him, you'll know what I'm talking about. But the boy can fish. He can catch fish in a bucket. Peter's probably, well, he's famous for the Apps Worm, of course, but he's probably as famous for fishing the single blob method on still waters. Now, what I'm doing now is getting a band, a solid colour, with my flexi floss. I'm going to just go down again and build that body so it's a solid bright colour, and Peter's adamant about how important this colour is. You've got to get that bright number 5 Glow-Brite. Swears by it. To be fair, it is hard to beat. There is other things on the market, but Glow-Brite's got a certain quality to it. I'm just going to tidy up this bit at the top, and then what I'll do is I'll just come in behind there a little bit, and then I'm going to come back over the front. Now my rib, I've got it here. Now the bandling, what happens with the bandling, I'll just do it quickly. People kind of do nearly touching turns with it. Now the trouble is your Glow-Brite is now wasted because you can't see it because you put them touching turns in. So what Peter does is he has nice big open turns, and on this I expect to get about 4 turns. So try and leave 2 to 3 millimeters between the turns, and I think that's not too bad. So what I'll do is I'll trap that in. Need about 5 fingers here. Just holding the flexi-floss out the way. I don't tie a lot of these, simply because I don't do a whole lot of small stillwater fishing, if I'm honest. But if I did, I would have plenty in my box. So I've got my rib in place now, and I'm just going to come in front. Now what I'm going to do next is take away the rib. I think Peter uses a razor blade or something akin to that. He's not keen on scissors, but I'm not keen on razor blades. I tend to cut my fingers. So what I want to do next is just come in again at the front, and what I want to do is encourage them fibres there to stick up like this, and that's sitting lovely now. So I'll grab my whip finish tool, pull them out the way, and that's essentially the tying part done, but there's a lot more to come, so don't leave just yet, folks. There's plenty more to do with this fly. So Peter's philosophy, if you like, is that you've got to get each fly exactly the same, and the way he does that is he uses a cocktail stick, 1.5 inches, but he does encourage people to try their own lengths. Now, who am I to argue with the master? So I've got my 1.5 inch cocktail stick. I'm going to place it in the middle of the fly, bring it up, and I've only just got enough on the front there. I thought it was looking a little bit shy, but there we go. And then I'll do the same with the back, which is a little longer. And then that way each one you tie is exactly the same. That's the idea of the cocktail stick. Now, so not only that, what other tips did Peter bring to the world? Don't use UV resins, and be careful what glues you use, and varnish, because it will dull down the glow bright. So what we want to do is I use this Loctite, and it doesn't seem to affect the glow bright too much. So I'll just take my brush out, and I'm going to use a cocktail stick just to get some super glue onto the cocktail stick, and I want to come in, and I'll do my side first. To the gaps there, and then I can come in on your side. I still occasionally see Peter. He still does the odd competition with his lads. He's got two sons that are also excellent anglers, and the northeast Stillwater scene is actually very much alive and well, and the standard's ridiculously high. I'd like to go up and watch a few of them boys. So that's me pretty much coated the body. Now, another top tip that Peter gave with flexi-floss, what you get is eventually, if you've used this sort of material yourself, it starts flaying away and splitting, and if you're flicking it back and forward with a fly rod, it's certainly going to do that sooner rather than later. So the other thing he does is he just gets a little spot of super glue on the end of each leg. Now, it's not bulletproof, but it will give your fly some longevity when you're fishing. So there we go. I hope I've done Peter justice with that fly. If not, I'm sure he'll be on the phone. telling me what for. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.